Are you getting ready to enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan? Well, in today's video, we're going to break down those Part D basics, talk about the 2026 changes, and give you a walkthrough of the prescription drug tiers. But most importantly, we're going to focus on how to navigate Medicare.gov. Stay tuned. So first, let's start with those Part D prescription drug plan basics. However, if you're already very experienced with Part D and you're really just looking for that Medicare.gov walkthrough, make sure to check out the timestamps in the description below so you can feel free to jump ahead. All right, so Medicare Part D, as I said, are your prescription drug plans. That's because original Medicare really doesn't cover prescription drugs, except with some very limited exceptions. Now, Medicare Part D is offered by private carriers. However, it is federally regulated. So there are certain guidelines that all plans must adhere to. Of course, some plans choose to offer better benefits than others to entice beneficiaries. For example, in 2026, the maximum deductible that any plan can charge is $615. However, plans may choose to offer a lower deductible to entice beneficiaries. Basically, Part D works in stages. The first stage will be the deductible. You'll have to pay out of pocket until you meet your deductible. At that point, you'll be responsible for a copay or a coinsurance determined by the medications tier. We'll talk more on that in just a moment. And then as you continue to spend, if you reach the catastrophic coverage phase, which at this point is really just an out-of-pocket maximum, then your plan will take on the remainder of the bills for the prescriptions that are on their plan's formulary for the remainder of the calendar year. Now, the main goal of Part D plans is, of course, to lower your out-of-pocket spending for your prescription drugs. However, plans do change on a yearly basis, so it's very important to make sure to review your plan during the AEP, which is every year from October 15th to December 7th. During this time, you can change plans, drop your plan, or add a plan if you don't have one. Just be aware that should you go for a period of more than 63 days without creditable prescription drug coverage, then you could be responsible for the Part D late enrollment penalty. Now let's talk about some of those changes for 2026, because every year there are changes, especially when we're talking about those financial thresholds. So first and foremost, there is the National Base Beneficiary Premium. In 2026, it will increase to $38.99, up from $36.78 in 2025. This 6% rise is due to factors like higher prescription drug costs and increased demand for services. That being said, this probably won't directly affect you, because just because the National Base Beneficiary Premium has increased, that doesn't mean that your premium will increase. And that certainly doesn't mean that you will see the National Base Beneficiary Premium as the premium for the plan that you choose. We'll see that in just a moment. Your plan could be much less expensive, or it could be much more expensive. Now, a figure that likely will affect you is the deductible for 2026. Now, the maximum deductible in 2026 for any Part D plan is $615, and that's up from $590 in 2025. And then there is the out-of-pocket maximum. So in the past, catastrophic coverage was not a true out-of-pocket maximum. Once you reached that threshold, you would be responsible for a much smaller coinsurance, but you would still have to pay for your prescription drugs. However, in 2026, the out-of-pocket maximum, which we're still referring to as catastrophic coverage, is $2,100, up from $2,000 in 2025. Also, some huge changes in 2026. For the first time ever, the federal government is able to directly negotiate on behalf of Medicare some of the most expensive prescription drugs. So in 2026, those negotiated prices will be in effect for
Januvia, Fiasp, Farhixa, Enbrel, Jardiance, Stelara, Xarelto, Eliquis, Entresto, and Imbruvica.
These numbers are very important, but really the most important numbers that you need to know when comparing Part D plans are the copays or coinsurance for the medications that you take, which is why it's very important that you have those medications in front of you when you're enrolling in a Part D plan. So really what we need to talk about are the tiers of the prescriptions which affect your copays and coinsurance. Now, it can vary from plan to plan. It's not really standardized. Plans could have as few as 3 or 4 tiers or as many as 6. But generally speaking, this is how it shakes out. If you're looking at a 5-tier plan, Tier 1 would be generic, Tier 2 would be non-preferred generic, Tier 3 would be preferred brand, Tier 4 would be non-preferred brand, and Tier 5 would be specialty medication. Generally speaking, the higher the tier, the higher the cost. Of course, as I said, that can vary based on the plan that you choose, which we will see when we look at Medicare.gov. But before we do, a brief pause here. Yes, I am going to give you a walkthrough of Medicare.gov, and I'm going to try to be as specific as possible. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't want to deal with all of the hassle, you don't have to. You can work with a broker who will work on your behalf to enroll you in the best possible plan based on your needs. So if you'd like our assistance, you can reach us in the comments below with any questions that you may have about Part D or Medicare in general, or at the number on the screen. We're licensed health insurance brokers, we're licensed nationwide, and best of all, there's absolutely no charge for our services. Now, we do release these videos on a weekly basis, and there have been non-stop changes in the health insurance sphere as of late. So please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date, and please make sure to like this video so that we can get this information out there. All right, let's take a look at those plans.
So here we are on Medicare.gov. Just scroll down to where it says Find Health and Drug Plans, and it will ask you to put in your zip code. We've selected 2026 because we are currently previewing plans. Although it's not open enrollment just yet, you won't be able to enroll in the plans until October 15th. At this point, at the very least, you can preview the plans to try to narrow down which options might be best for you. Now, here you're going to select Medicare Part D. Of course, if you were interested in a Medicare Advantage plan, you would select that, or a Medigap plan, which is also known as a Medicare Supplement plan, you would click that. But today we're just talking about Part D plans. Now it's going to ask if you get help with your Medicare health or drugs. So if you have Medicaid, if you have supplemental security income, a Medicare savings program, or if you are eligible for extra help with the drug costs. We're going to put, I don't get help from any of these programs. Do you want to see your drug costs when you compare plans? Absolutely. That is so very important. So you need to know what medications you take and the dosages. So let's put in some of the more common ones. I'm going to put in Lipitor. I'm going to leave it as a brand name just so that you can see the difference in costs. So we'll keep the brand name. Add to my drug list. Let's add another drug. Add that one for blood pressure. Pretty common medications. Okay, so we've got one brand name, one generic. That should at least help us to compare. Done adding drugs. Now we should put in, well, we already put in a zip code, so it's going to ask you to put in some pharmacies. I highly recommend that you select one mail order pharmacy and then some of the other pharmacies that are nearby. I don't know what some of these are. They're not big brand names. So let's see. We have a Walgreens, a Harris Teeter, Hawthorne, no idea what that is, CVS. That should give us enough information, I think. All right. So right now it is sorting by lowest drug plus premium cost. Now, I am expecting that because I put in a brand, and it's usually a more expensive brand name medication, that I'm going to see some high costs. Yeah. So this is all due to the Lipitor, I guarantee you. And you will see very often there's a difference in retail pharmacy versus mail order pharmacy. Usually the mail order pharmacy is less expensive. That's not always the case, but usually. And in this case, it's really just a couple of dollars. So it's going to boil down to what is more convenient for you. But right now it is filtering, or sorting rather, by lowest drug plus premium cost. You could filter just by lowest monthly premium if you want. And you could also filter by drug. So the deductible for 2026 is $615. Now, that is the maximum deductible that any plan can charge. Plans can offer a lower deductible to entice beneficiaries, but the most it could be is $615. We're going to go back to lowest drug plus premium cost. It's just a more efficient way of sorting. So let's take a look. I'm already noticing some changes from last year because if I recall, when I put in the zip code last year, there was a monthly premium with $0. So we're already seeing a $3.60 increase. Not that that is a huge increase, but just something you should be aware of. So let's compare some of these plans. So this one is currently saying that this is basically it's going to give us the best bang for our buck based on the information that we have currently put in. So let's add this one to compare. You can compare up to 3 plans. You'll also notice here that 4 of the 4 selected pharmacies that I chose, plus of course the mail order pharmacy, are covered in this plan. Here's also the drugs and their costs. You'll see right now, this is what I'm talking about. Let me just scroll down here. Yeah, so one medication, no copay, and the other is pretty much the entirety of the yearly costs. Now, here's the real problem. Lipitor is not covered by this plan's formulary. So that means that out-of-pocket maximum does not apply. I'm going to click back real quick because basically if it is currently sorting by lowest drug plus premium cost, that means that none of these plans are going to cover Lipitor. Oh, that is a shame. Let's go back. I want to change one of the pharmacies then, and maybe I'll add another drug. I'm going to change one of these pharmacies just so that you can see the difference in costs when a pharmacy is in network versus out of network. Okay, let's try this My Clinic. Maybe that is obscure enough. Here we go. Okay, so now 3 of 4 are in network. So that should at least give us a better indication when we're comparing. So we're already comparing this one. Let's find another plan that we want to compare. Let's try this one. And let's find a plan that has a lower deductible as well. Okay, that should give us enough. Then we click compare. Here we go. So the star ratings aren't available because we're not in open enrollment yet. This is the total monthly premiums. We've got one for $3.60, one for $32, one for $110.90. Now, I can already say that based on the information that we have currently put in, this would probably be the best plan for our needs. It's not always the case that the least expensive plan is, of course, the best, or that the most expensive plan is the best. It depends upon the medications that you are taking. And our issue here really is that the Lipitor isn't covered by any of these plans. You can see what the tremendous cost difference is between a generic medication and a brand medication, especially if it's one that's not covered. Now, if this were the case, if you are someone that needs to take the brand medication, and I do know people that say that certain medications, the generic doesn't work for them, they have to take the brand. There are other options for you. For example, you may want to look into GoodRx and see if there are coupons offered for that medication. And you can even look into state pharmaceutical programs or pharmaceutical assistance programs to see if there are any additional discounts available for that medication. And I would highly encourage you to do so because as you can see, if you were someone who had to take Lipitor, brand name Lipitor, it's really expensive to have to take this and there's no coverage available to you. So now let's look at in-network versus out-of-network. So in-network with this plan, your total drug and premium costs for 2026 based on what we put in for in-network would be $5,814 at a preferred pharmacy, or maybe $5,808 at a mail order pharmacy. Now, if you were to go out of network, it would be $6,092.28 at one of these out of network pharmacies. That's really because one of the medications are covered and that high blood pressure medication is an inexpensive medication. So you're really just having to pay for that out of pocket at this out of network pharmacy. But if we put in different medications, then you'd probably see a greater difference. I also want to look at the plan details here. So let's scroll down. Here's your monthly premium, your deductible. Here's your medications that you listed, the pharmacies that you listed. Here are the costs at each of these pharmacies for each of these medications. So $0, $0, $17 for some reason, and $0. That's because this one is in-network, but these are in-network preferred. So in-network preferred will give you a better rate usually. And then there's this out-of-network pharmacy. The big culprit, as I mentioned, Lipitor. Wow, that's expensive. Let's scroll down. You won't meet your deductible because the high blood pressure medication is $0. So that is not counting towards your deductible, and the Lipitor isn't covered, so that's not counting towards your deductible because the money that you pay towards your deductible, only covered in-network medications would apply. Then it breaks it down by month, what your spending would be. It'll do estimated drug prices at these particular pharmacies, view more drug coverage. So here are the tiers for this plan. This is not related to the specific information that we put in. This is just the general information of this plan. This plan is one of those that has 6 tiers. Okay. So now that Part D has been simplified, it's only really going to show you 2 columns here. The deductible, you pay the full cost. Once you're in the initial coverage phase, you have a copay or a coinsurance. So for this plan, for preferred generic, it's $0, generic $3, preferred brand 25%, and that's already starting to get very pricey, I assure you. Non-preferred 40%, very expensive, 25% for specialty tier, and for select care drugs, those are some of those. They just have a list of drugs that they'll say are select care drugs that are some of the most common drugs, an $11 copay. There's no more coverage gap, no more donut hole. Once you spend, Medicare is keeping track of your spending. Once you reach $2,100, you would enter into the catastrophic coverage phase. And for any drug that is part of your plan's formulary, and that's the key here, there's no more copay because it's now treated as an out-of-pocket maximum. Okay, I've removed the Lipitor. I want to add a different, also common medication. I'm going to keep the brand, and let's see if this one is covered. All right, so now we see that the Synthroid is actually a covered medication. So you can get a better idea of what it looks like when you have a covered brand name medication versus a generic. So our spendings have gone down significantly. And if you look here, right, so basically, I mean, our blood pressure medication is still at no cost to us. And this would be the copay at these specific pharmacies. Now, we still won't meet our out-of-pocket maximum. And now let's take a look. I wonder if this has changed anything. We're going to sort by lowest drug and premium cost. Oh, it still looks like this is still the best plan for us. However, by entering that information, it could have changed and made another plan that had perhaps a slightly higher monthly premium. It could have ended up lowering our yearly spending if the copay for that specific drug was significantly less expensive.
Now, although Medicare.gov is a great resource, make sure to double check your information and take everything with a grain of salt, especially when we're talking about specific drug prices. Again, if you need assistance from a broker, please feel free to reach us in the comments below or at the number on the screen. We're licensed nationwide and there's absolutely no charge for our services. And of course, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.